Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're just about a minute and a half away from opening announcements, and then we will be starting the junior high boys A game. This will be a 8th grade game for the Carthage Tigers and a game for the New Heights Christian Academy boys, followed by the 7th grade game and B game for the Cougars.
Welcome to New Heights Christian Academy for tonight's junior high boys basketball game between the visiting Carthage Tigers and your host New Heights Christian. This time, please rise to your feet for the playing of the national anthem and remain standing for a prayer. Safety on the court for Carthage and for New Heights and for our officials, and we pray more importantly that we can honor you with our words and our actions tonight. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Let's meet the starting lineup. First up for the Carthage junior high 8th graders, coached by Drew Bridges and Dalton Stafford.
All right, opening announcements completed. Now for the player announcements. First, number 1 for the Tigers, Nolan Bruton. Number 5 is Baylor Anderson. Number 12, Carter Manzer. Number 13, Camden Shields. And number 15, Colton Charleston.
And now let's meet the starting up for your New Heights Christian Cougars, coached by Nathan Carson and Colson Jenkins. Number 11, Aiden Jones.
Starters for the Cougars, number 11, 7th grader Aiden Jones. Number 14, 8th grader Brooks Perry. Number 21, the 7th grader Jack Hackney. Number 24, 8th grader Will Marsh. And number 30, 7th grader George Hines. All right, opening tip for the junior high A game. And we're underway. Battle for the ball. Perry's able to win it for the Cougars. Ball inside to Jones. He turns and gets to the basket with the left. Knocked into the corner. Perry tries to save it, but can't control it out of bounds to the Tigers. Number 13, that's Shields. Dribbles ahead, gets it over to 15, Charleston. Charleston to the basket and finishes for the first points of the game. Tigers up 2-0. Tigers in the full court press. Perry over to the near side for Hackney. Ball off Hackney's foot. Perry gets to it, gets it into the front court for Marsh. Marsh in the corner. Hines wants the three. too strong off the back rim, fight for the rebound. Number 15, Charleston, able to gather it. In a transition for the Tigers. Good take to the basket, off the glass and in. Charleston's got the first 4 points of the game for the Tigers. Hackney fumbles the dribble, stolen away by Manzer. Foul on the shot, I believe. That's going against Hackney. Actually, it's on the floor. So inbound for the Tigers. That's into number 5, Anderson. Anderson to the free throw line. Ball stripped away. Manzer's there to get it. At the top, backdoor cut by Charleston. Goes for the reverse layup. Too strong off the backside. Hines pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Hines to the middle. Marsh on the right side. Back up to Hackney to reset. Jones flashes to the free throw line. Perry over to the left side. Marsh, lackadaisical on the handle. Number 13, Shields, pokes it away. It gets into transition and can't finish the layup. Knocked out of bounds. Back to the Cougars. Tigers will stay in the full court press. Ball into Perry. Gets it back to Marsh. Marsh through the double, gets it to George in the front court. George Hines, the 7th grader. Over to Perry on the right side. Marsh cuts through. Good shot fake. Loses the handle, though, and Charleston's there to recover it. Tigers pushing. All the way to the basket. Good block by Hackney. And saved by Jones. Out ahead to Marsh into transition for the Cougars. Nice finish by Marsh, and the Cougars are on the board 4-2. Number 13, that's Shields. Gets through the double all the way to the basket. Jones goes for the aggressive block and gets called for the foul. Shields will go to the line for 2 free throws. Camden Shields, good on the first. .323 on the official clock. I'm gonna let it run here on the scoreboard. Shields good on both free throws. 6-2 the score. Marsh quickly ahead, tries to split the double. Charleston pokes it away, but Jones is there to recover for the Cougars. Jones puts the dribble down into the foot of Shields and turnover back to the Tigers. Charleston down the left side. Tough finish with his left, and it's good. Cougars want a timeout. All right, after the timeout, Cougars will be inbounding. Made basket by the Tigers. Tigers are still in the full court press. Perry inbounding for the Cougars. Marsh comes up to receive the ball. Back to Perry, tough pass. And number 10, Levi Langford, gets called for the foul. Perry again inbounding into Marsh. Trap comes. Marsh tries to throw it over the top. Deflected by Shields. And number 15, Charleston, there at the basket, deflected away. Will stay Tigers ball underneath. Charleston inbounding. flipped in off of Marsh's back. Jones gets on the floor, is able to get it to Perry. Knocked away by Charleston. Steps on the, actually, I think the ball touched the end line. Ball will be back to the Cougars. Cougars in the 4-cross press break. Will Marsh subbing out as number 13. Grayson Stevens checks in for the Cougars. Ball into Jones, up ahead to Hines. Hines back to the middle for Perry. Perry finds Jones on the cut to the basket, and the left-handed Jones finishes it off the glass, 8-4. Charleston slowing it down for the Tigers, walking it up to the midcourt line. Hackney defending at the top. Dribble handoff to number 5, Anderson. Anderson pushing into the paint, kicks it back for the 3 for Shields. Off the front of the rim, rebound pulled down by Jones. Kicked out to Hines on the right side. Hines looking, double team comes. Hines back across to Hackney. Hackney for 3 from the corner, and he got it. Charleston asking for direction from the coach as he walks it up. Attacks all the way to the basket. Charleston with a scoop. Can't get it to fall. Perry pulls down the rebound. Jones pushing. Charleston pokes it away from behind. Jones trying to recover. Stolen away. Lost reception there. Stolen away by Charleston. And Charleston gets to the basket and finishes for 2. Jones gets it in and off the side of the backboard, recovered by Charleston. Charleston off the glass, rebound pulled down and put back by number 5, Anderson. 12-7 the score. Perry, wild pass ahead. Number 13, Stevens tries to save it, but stolen by the Tigers. 12, Manzer to Charleston, but Charleston stepped on the sideline. Ball back to the Cougars. 5-point lead for the Tigers. A minute left here in the first quarter. See if I can get that count, that clock corrected real quick here. Number 5, Benjamin Flanagan in the game for the Cougars. Will Marsh also back in the game. And number 2, Justice Jump. Jump with the ball on the left side. Also number 55, Maverick Polly in the game. Hackney, tough take, gets it into the corner for Flanagan. Flanagan looking for an angle, kicks it to Marsh. 40 seconds to play. Marsh loses his feet and draws the foul call. Second foul of the quarter on the Tigers. 36 seconds on the official clock here in the first quarter. Tigers with a 5-point lead. Flanagan into Marsh. Marsh for 3, off the back of the rim. Loose ball rebound goes to Langford. Pushing out in transition. Ahead, Marsh hustles back and knocks it away. Able to get it over to Flanagan on the near side. 20 seconds left. Polly on the right side being tightly defended. Ball knocked away by Anderson. And foul called on the Cougars. I believe that's going to go against Polly. Yeah, it goes against Maverick Polly. Ball will be in the backcourt. .14 seconds left in the quarter. That's into Hembry. Hackney gets a hand on it. Hackney tightly defending, gets called for the foul. A little too aggressive there, 10 seconds to play. Clock started late. That's the 4th foul of the quarter on the Cougars. Number 5, Anderson. Kicks it out to Shields for 3, and that will do it for the first quarter. Tigers with the 12-7 lead. All right, Tigers have the arrow to start the second quarter. Number 5 is Baylor Anderson, inbounding for the Tigers. Ball in and we're underway. Charleston, the main scorer for the Tigers, with the ball at the top. Manzer down low for Shields. Shields turns into the paint, and Perry got a hand on the ball, but also gets called for the illegal contact. Shields will go to the line for 2 free throws. Camden Shields, good on the first. Shields makes both free throws. Cougars quickly in to break the press. Marsh into the corner, gets triple teamed. Charleston able to make the steal and start his dribble on the floor to stand up. And foul called on the Cougars. Marsh just needs to be a little more patient on that. The triple team there can't run into the front court knowing that trap is coming. Charleston over to Shields on the right wing, up top to number 1, that's Bruton. Back to Shields, has baseline. Jones there defending. Nice job defending without fouling as Perry pulls down the rebound. Out ahead to Polly. Ball deflected away by Anderson. Loose ball in the middle. Jones there to receive it back. And foul called on Jones. I'm sorry, on Charleston. I believe that's going to go against Charleston. Let's see. Did you see they call that on Charleston or on Bruton? Okay. Foul called on Charleston, we think. Dribble handoff to Marsh. Marsh for 3 from the top. Rims around and out. Number 5, Anderson there for the rebound. Jones tightly defending. And I think that hit off Anderson's foot, waiting for the signal. And yes, they're going to give it back to the Cougars. Jones got a hand on it. It looked from here like it hit off of Anderson's foot last, but coach doesn't like that call. And we're back to the action. Jones with the ball gets it into Perry. Perry in the paint, hard off the glass, rebound pulled down by Manzer, and jump ball, Cougars have the arrow. Hayden Jones inbounding again for the Cougars. Gets it to Polly in the short corner, over to Marsh. Marsh picks up his dribble, back to Polly. 4:55 on the official clock. All right, now we're synced up. George Hines on the right side, over to Marsh at the top. Marsh with the dribble drive, tough shot from the elbow. Too strong off the glass. Charleston there to pull down the rebound for the Tigers. Marsh tightly defending. Charleston behind his back, still in the backcourt. And just a little too much by Marsh, gets called for the foul. Tigers setting it up, 14-7 the score. Anderson on the right side gives it to Shields for 3. Too strong off the back rim. That's Justice Jump with the rebound for the Cougars. Up ahead for Hackney. Hackney drives into the paint, tries to kick it back to Perry, but stolen away by Anderson. Anderson all the way down, too strong off the glass. Perry in a transition for the Cougars. Perry steps through, tough shot in the paint, and he finishes 14-9. 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. George Hines picks up Charleston, gets all the way to the basket. Charleston with a flip shot. Perry is able to secure it up ahead to Jones. Jones, the left-hander, gets there to the basket, and another nice finish by Aiden Jones off the glass. 3-point lead now for the Tigers. Cougars on a little bit of a run. George Hines defending one-on-one with Charleston. Able to poke the ball away. Charleston gets it back. Hines tightly defending, dribble handoff to Shields. Shields thinks about the three as Jones picks him up. Over to Bruton on the left side, dribble handoff to Anderson. Anderson into the paint, loses the handle. Perry goes on the ground to win it. Gets it back to Shields, and Shields finishes and draws the foul. And he'll go to the line for the and one. Take a look at replay as the loose ball created an opportunity, and Shields able to finish through contact. Number 10, that's Levi Langford checking back in the game for Nolan Bruton. Shields makes the free throw. 6-point lead now for the Tigers. Jump ahead to Hines, looks back door for Hackney, but too high over the top of Hackney and out of bounds back to the Tigers. Benjamin Flanagan at the table to check in. He's subbing in for Jack Hackney. Ball went all the way onto the other court, so retrieval finally secured, and we're underway. Hines picks up Charleston. Charleston, nice job dribbling to prevent the steal. Into the corner for Shields for three. Can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound. Wild shot by Langford and out of bounds back to the Cougars. The Cougars do have 4 fouls here in the second quarter, so we will be in the bonus on the next foul on the Cougars. Perry into Hines, ahead to Jones. Jones patiently, but picks up his dribble, gets it to Perry. Perry backdoor pass to Flanagan, and just a little bit too low for Flanagan to handle, out of bounds back to the Tigers. Right idea, just didn't get enough bounce on it. Number 13, Grayson Stevens at the table to check in, along with Maverick Powley. Jones and Jump checking out. Shields with the ball on the right side. Stevens defending. Shields to the short corner. Tiptoes the line and actually steps on the end line. Out of bounds back to the Tigers. I'm sorry, back to the Cougars. Perry to Stevens. Stevens leaves it for Perry. Flips to Hines on the left side. Hines able to get back to the middle. Tough pass to the corner for Powley. And just a little bit too aggressive on that pass. Last 2 passes by Hines just too high for teammate to handle. Colton Charleston with the ball. Being defended by Hines. And foul called on Hines. That's the 5th foul. So Charleston will go to the line for 2 free throws. Charleston good on the first. The Tigers have been really good from the free throw line tonight. 2:14 to play here in the second quarter of the A game. Charleston's second free throw. Can't get that one to fall. Perry pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. That's number 40 in the game, Jack Fanning. Fanning comes on the ball screen. Ball over to Flanagan on the right side. Flanagan tries to enter it in, but number 5, Anderson, deflects it and able to get the steal for the Tigers. Charleston on the right side. Over to Shields. Ball entered in to Anderson, and well defended. He's going to give it a jump ball. Tigers have the arrow. Flanagan and Perry checking out. Looks like Perry might have a bloody nose. Jones in the game. And Justice Jump back in the game. Tigers inbounding under the basket. Charleston gets it into Shields. Shields with the left-handed dribble all the way in. And gets called for the travel. Good job of defending by the Cougars without fouling. Tigers still in the press. Ball into Jones. Bounce pass to Hines. Stolen away by Charleston. Behind the back save to Manzer. Manzer gets his own rebound off the miss. Ball deflected. Langford gets it back. Anderson thought about the three. Gets it to Langford for three. And he got it. Ten-point lead now for the Tigers. Aiden Jones all the way down for Fanning. Fanning off the glass, too strong. Charleston with the rebound for the Tigers, pushing out in transition, and Shields can't handle the low pass. Ball back to the Cougars. Just a minute left here in the second quarter. Will Marsh checking back in the game. Grayson Stevens checking out. Waiting for the clock to start. Marsh breaks the timeline, and foul called on the Tigers. Clock never did start on that possession. And Jones gets it into Marsh, back to Jones. Jones across to Fanning all alone underneath. And the defender, I couldn't tell who that was defending for the Tigers, went to the ground. I think it might have been Shields. Left a gaping hole. Number 12, Manzer for three. Off the back of the rim, loose ball goes to Hines. And Hines gets tripped up. Third foul of the quarter on the Tigers. Hines is going to sub out. Hackney checking in for the last 30 seconds of the first half. Cougars really need a basket here. Ball into Jones. Over to Hackney at the top. Fanning to Jones. Back to Fanning, being defended by Anderson. Gets it to Marsh. 9 seconds to play. Shields defending, and Marsh fires it to Jump. Out of bounds back to the Tigers. 3 seconds on the official clock. Charleston gets beyond half court, takes the shot from the volleyball line, and that comes up short. That will do it for the first half. All right, we go into halftime of the Junior High A game. Carthage Tigers leading the New Heights Cougars 21-13. We'll take an audio break here. We have 8 minutes on the halftime clock. We'll send you through the first half recap and be back for the start of the second half. All right, we are back, ready for the start of the second half. Cougars have the arrow going right to left. Perry inbounding. And we're underway, ball to Marsh. Marsh at the top, being defended by Bruton. Tigers appear to be in a 1-3-1 sort of defense. Hackney on the right side. Pass saved by Hines, but stolen by Shields. Shields, nice step through finish. An unforced error by the Cougars result in a basket. Marsh ahead to Jones. Jones bounce pass into Hines. Hines turnaround jump shot. Nice finish off the glass. Big basket for the Cougars. Charleston slowing it up for the Tigers. Cougars in a 2-3 zone. Bruton on the right side into the corner for Charleston. He wants the three. Air ball backside rebound by Hines. Hines pushing down the right side. Gets it ahead to Marsh into the corner. Ball deflected by Shields. And will stay Cougars ball in the front court. Hines inbounding this time. Into Marsh. Ball screened by Jones. Dribble handoff to Hackney. Hackney back to the top to reset. Off ball screen by Hines. Ball over to Marsh on the right wing. Marsh with the runner. Backside rebound by Jones. Looked like a lot of contact. Manzer's able to pull down the rebound, fight for the ball. Anderson gets back to it. Bounce pass to Charleston on the run. Charleston takes it to the glass. Well defended by Hackney. Good transition by the Cougars. Marsh at the basket, but can't get it to fall. Anderson pushing the other way. And gets bailed out with a hectic shot as Perry put his hands down. Baylor Anderson at the line for 2 free throws. Anderson too strong on the first. Flanagan checking in for Jones. Too strong on the second as well. Offensive rebound by Menzer. Back to Anderson, over to Bruton for three, and he got it. Big three-point basket by the Tigers. Marsh ahead to Hackney, one more to Perry. Perry with the nice shot fake step through, pass fake step through, I should say. Gets his own rebound, turnaround jumper, gets fouled, and Brooks Perry will go to the line for 2. Perry good on the first. 10-point lead now for the Tigers. Second one's no good. Charleston with the rebound. Charleston looking ahead. Nothing's there as he slows it up. Hackney defending at the top. Ball over to wide open Shields on the left wing. Can't get the three-point shot to fall. Flanagan pulls down the rebound. And sloppy with the ball. Anderson's able to grab it away. Jump ball. Tigers have the arrow. Got to get those elbows out when you secure that rebound. 3-point by Bruton. Air ball. Backside rebound by Charleston. Hackney fouls him on the floor. Tigers will get the ball underneath again. Jump checking in the game for Hackney. Charleston backdoor for Manzer, and he puts in the layup. Largest lead of the day for the Tigers, 12 points. Hines gets it ahead to jump. Into Marsh. Marsh tries to go baseline, loses the handle back to the Tigers. And that's enough for the Cougars to take a timeout. All right, coming out of the timeout, Tigers have the ball. Anderson inbound into Shields. Cougars in a man press. Shields picks up the dribble, gets it ahead to Anderson. Jump defending. Anderson with a crossover dribble. Picks it up at the elbow and takes the extra step. Looked like he was going to take a runner there and then decided to pull it into a shot fake. But already committed to the extra step, gets called for the travel. Hines to jump, back to Hines, trying to break the press. Marsh bounce pass ahead to Perry. Perry gets it to Marsh back in the middle, tries to go down low for Flanagan, but Shields is there for the steal. Quick outlet to Charleston, and Charleston puts it in. Nice transition play by the Tigers. Marsh tries to split the double, Shields steals. Shields tough take, and foul called on Perry. Shields will go back to the line for two. Shields good on the first. Tigers extending their lead now. Largest lead of the day, 15 points. Hines late to come into his spot. Marsh walks on the three-point line. They let him do it. 2 violations. Shield kicks it to Charleston for 3. Marsh closes out, back to Shields in the short corner. Over to Langford, he wants the 3 off the back rim. Loose ball, rebound, goes to Charleston. Into the corner. Charleston gets trapped, back up top to Manzer. Manzer can't handle the pass and gets called for the double dribble. Turnover back to the Cougars. George Hines with the dribble. Charleston defending, pass over to Marsh from the right wing, wants the 3, and air ball out of bounds back to the Tigers. Aiden Jones subbing in the game. Flanagan checks out. Jones picking up Charleston. Tough defense by Jones. Langford gets the ball, gets it back to Charleston. Charleston able to push ahead. Bounce pass into Manzer, and nice strong finish off the glass by Carter Manzer. Marsh, wild pass across and out of bounds. Marsh just losing his composure, crossing the timeline and then picking up his dribble. Charleston being tightly defended by Jones, able to beat the first pressure all the way to the basket. Well defended at the glass. And Hines pulls down the loose ball rebound. Jones on the right side. Dribbles back to the center to set up an action. Manzer defending at the top. Dribble handoff to Fanning. looking for Hines. As Charleston breaks up the dribble handoff, still gets it to Hines. Marsh back to the top. Will Marsh looking for a cut. Ball deflected by Shields. Fanning there to receive it. Hines on the right side wants the long three, and he got it. George Hines nails the three. 14-point lead now for the Tigers. Charleston was looking for the long pass and picks up his dribble. Coach smartly calls a timeout. Cougars with 3 fouls so far in the quarter. All right, random inbound spot after the timeout on the opposite side of the court. Anderson gets it into Shields. Will Marsh defending. Shields still on the dribble. Gets it over to Anderson on the right side. Jones picks him up. Anderson loses the handle with the left, gets it back. Jones tightly defending. Over to Shields, one more to number 40. That's Horton. Back to the near corner for Langford. Ball inside for Anderson. Tries to scoop it underneath. Fight for the rebound. Anderson comes away with the loose ball and draws the foul. And I believe he will see if they're going to signal. Okay, on the floor. So inbound for the Tigers. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Bounce pass into Langford. Foul called on the floor as the Cougars left Langford wide open on the block. That's the 5th team foul. So the Tigers in the bonus. Levi Langford at the line for 2 free throws. Banks in the first. Rolls around and out. Offensive rebound put back by Aiden Horton. Largest lead of the day now for the Tigers at 17 points. Marsh ahead to the corner for George Hines for 3, and he nails it. Shields dribbles all the way in, all the way to the glass, gets away with the, Fanning gets away with the foul, up ahead to Jones, and they got the foul on that one as Anderson cut him off. Jones goes to the ground hard. .5 on the clock. It's enough time to catch and shoot, not much else, as they're decided to do it at the halfway line for the inbound. That's too long. That's going to do it for the quarter. So 36-22 after 3 quarters of play here in the junior high A game. All right, 6 minutes on the fourth quarter clock. 36-22. Cougars have the arrow to start the fourth. Ball into Hines, over to Marsh in the left wing. Floated into Polly. Hackney in the corner, goes baseline. All the way across for Hines. One more to Perry. Brooks Perry gets the dribble down and gets to the elbow for the floater. Makes the nice basket. Manzer up ahead into the paint. Down low for number 40, Horton. And Aiden Horton makes another basket. Marsh ahead to Polly. Polly maybe got away with the travel there as he gets it to Marsh. Marsh picks up his dribble over to Hackney on the left wing. Polly flashes through the paint. Counts going. Hackney's got to get the dribble down and finally does. Over to Perry, inside to Polly. Had position. Gets the ball back, looking for an angle. Kicks it to Perry in the corner. Brooks Perry spins. Tough shot off the rim. And Horton pulls down the rebound for the Tigers. Into transition for Charleston. Charleston all the way to the glass. And Hackney gets a hand on his wrist. Gets called for the foul. Charleston will go back to the line for 2 free throws. Charleston good on the first free throw. Couple subs in the game for the Tigers. Charleston makes both free throws. Lead back to 14. I'm sorry, back to 16. Polly ahead to Hackney on the left corner. Horton defending. I'm sorry, that's Bruton defending. Polly tries to throw it over the top. Shields reads it and steals, but then throws it away on the other end, looking for Anderson. Ball back to the Cougars. Will Marsh bringing it up the left side. Hackney in the near corner. Looking for the cut by Perry. Nice feed. Perry can't finish. Jumps there on the follow. Jump looking for an angle on the offensive rebound. And he puts it back. I'm sorry, that's Flanagan. My bad, that's Benjamin Flanagan with the follow. Ball ahead stolen by Marsh. Finds Hines. Hines with the acrobatic attempt. And can't get it to fall as Charleston pulls down the rebound. Ball ahead to Bruton. Flanagan cuts him off on the sideline and out of bounds back to the Cougars. And the Tigers want a timeout. All right, after the timeout, Tigers have the ball. 14-point lead. Ball into the backcourt to Charleston. George Hines up top defending. Ball screened by Anderson. Ball into the corner to Shields. Marsh, aggressive defense, pokes the ball away. Shields able to get it back. Gets the dribble down, goes baseline. and finishes at the basket, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for the and one. Take a look on replay as he's able to get baseline. Not much contact there, but enough to draw the foul. Shields completes the and one. 17-point lead now for the Tigers. Hackney looking to go coast to coast, runs into a wall in Anderson, and too strong, and Charleston pulls down the rebound for the Tigers. Good transition by the Tigers as Charleston gives it up to Shields. Hines ahead to Marsh, hits him in the head. Turnover back to the Tigers. 19-point lead, 3:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. Hines tightly defended on Charleston. Shields on the left side, over to Bruton at the top. Shields in the corner, shot fake, rises up from 15, and he nails the jumper. Perry out on the left side, looking to go one-on-one, and draws the foul. Brooks Perry will go to the line for two. Brooks Perry good on the first. Back to a 20-point game. Makes both free throws. Cougars in full court. Charleston bounce pass over to Bruton. One more into Menzer. Long two, and he nails the jumper. Tigers starting to find their rhythm from distance. Marsh on the dribble. Shields defending. Marsh splits the double, and Shields from behind gets the block. Ball out of bounds will stay Cougars. Hines into Hackney. Hackney jump stop in the paint. Off the rim as Charleston gets the rebound into the break. Charleston all the way with his left, and another nice finish by the Tigers at the glass. Brooks Perry, stolen away by Charleston. And another finish by Charleston. Tigers really starting to extend the lead now as the Cougars coach wants a timeout. What's that?
Cheer the crowd up.
Yeah.
When we're down,
All right, after the timeout, Cougars have the ball underneath. Grayson Stevens inbounding. Finds Hackney. Hackney can't get it to fall. Knocked out of play by Hembry, and will stay Cougars ball. Brooks Perry inbounding. Looking for someone available. Tries to get it into Marsh, but over the top and out of bounds back to the Tigers. Shields with the ball. Flips it to Langford. Bruton to Hembry. Hembry rises up. Can't get it to fall as it's kicked out by Stevens, but Bruton recovers. Into the corner, step back three by Shields. Long rebound goes to Hines, but knocked away. Another attack by Hembry. Rebound by Langford, kicked out for Bruton for three. Comes up short, but secured by Shields. They called 3 seconds, but that's not the right ruling because it's once the shot goes up, 3 seconds resets. All right, subs in the game for the Cougars. Jump, Polly, Fanning, and Flanagan in the game. Ball screened by Fanning. Hines dribbling at the top, over to Jump. Kicks it to Hines for a long three. Long rebound off the rim. Flanagan gets on the floor, and jump ball is called. Tigers have the arrow. Number 3, Peterson, gets called for the carry. Actually had the double dribble before that, but gets called for the carry, and the ball's back to the Cougars. George Hines floats it into Fanning. Fanning looking for position, and from behind, Horton commits the foul. Fanning will go to the line for 2 free throws. Fanning good on the first. Second one's too strong. Rebound pulled down by Langford. Langford all the way to the glass. Offensive rebound by Horton. Is able to save it. Polly gets it ahead to Hines. Jordan Hines with the extension finish and draws the foul. And he'll go to the line for the and one. Nice extension finish by Hines in transition. Hines at the line for the and one. And it's good. 21-point lead now for the Tigers. Hines checks out. Stevens in the game. Tigers looking to get it across the timeline. Langford being tightly defended by Stevens. Over to Shields. Tigers just looking to run the clock out. And that will do it. Final score here in the junior high boys A game. Carthage Tigers pull away 53-32 the final. All right, we'll put some time on the clock for the junior high B game warm-up. We'll send you through the second half recap as we do that. And then we'll be back for the junior high game. Junior high B game, I should say. All right, we are about set for the 7th grade B game. 7th grade A and B. So it's the B team for New Heights and the 7th graders for Carthage. I don't know if we'll be doing player announcements or not. It looks like we're just going to take the court. Let's see, number 3 is Urban Shepherd. Number 4, Truman Mankin. Number 20 is Trey Norberry. Number 30, Drayson Felix. And number 31, Gus Haslip for the Tigers. Doing the tip for the Cougars is Isaac Cools. And the tip won by the Tigers. We're underway here in the B game. Good take to the basket by number 30, Grayson Felix, and the Tigers are on the board. Pass ahead, Lincoln Bowen gets it into the front court for the Cougars. And the 3 Peoples over to Bowen at the top. Isaac Cools into Grayson Morey, who draws the foul, and Morey will go to the line for 2 free throws. First one's too strong. Around and out on the second. Knocked out of bounds will stay Cougars ball. Drew Peoples there for the throw in for the Cougars. Into the corner for Bowen. Morey with the ball at the top. Cools on the right wing. Looks for Peoples flashing through, not there. Gets it back to Bowen at the top. Morey, shot fake. Ball over to Peoples, up top to Bowen. Bowen looks in for Lincoln Bowen. And the floater comes up short. Rebound into transition for the Tigers. Number 30, Felix, too strong. But rebound by the Tigers, and foul called. Or I guess it's just out of bounds, so it's Tigers ball. Ball in the corner, 3-point shot by number 3, Shepherd. Another offensive rebound for the Tigers. Morey's able to pull it down and draw the foul. Are they calling fouls? Okay. Morey's able to break the press, up ahead to Peoples. Bowen thought about the step back 3. Gets it over to Cools. Cools tightly defended by number 20, Norberry. Peoples gets it to Morey into the corner for Lincoln Bowen. Bowen looks to go baseline. Ball deflected away by Shepherd. And timeout called by the Cougars. As the count was going on Bowen, he didn't really have an option to get rid of it. All right, back to the action. Peoples gets it in to Maury. Ball deflected away by Haslip. Maury deflects the outlet pass, but out of bounds on the Cougars. Tigers will inbound. Cougars picking up in full court press. Mankin inbounds. The ball deflected by Cools. Felix is able to get to it. Dribbles up ahead. Bounce pass in. And foul called on the Cougars. That's number 20, Trey Norbury, who drew the foul. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Norbury too strong on the first. Makes the second. Cougars quickly in. Ball knocked out of play by the Tigers will stay Cougars. Lincoln Bowen inbounding, deflected away by Shepard. And again will be the Cougars to throw in. Bowen gets it into the backcourt to Peoples. Picks up his dribble, gets it over to Dylan Bowen. Up to Cools into the corner for Lincoln. Lincoln Bowen has baseline and draws the foul. And Lincoln Bowen will go to the line for 2 free throws. Bowen rims around and out on the first. Full line change for the Tigers. Number 5, number 10, which looks like Felix stayed in. Number 20, 21, and 34. Bowen makes the second free throw. 3-1 the score. Felix gets trapped. Pass to the middle. Peoples there to steal. Number 34 for the Tigers, Perkins, knocked it away, but couldn't handle it as it bounced out of bounds back to the Cougars. Dylan Bowen inbounding on the sideline for the Cougars in the stack. Into Peoples. Ball into Isaac Cools in the corner. Looking to go baseline. Pivots back to Peoples. Pass to the top. Dangerous pass. Lincoln Bowen's able to get to it. Jump shot from the top of the key. And he nails the jumper. Game tied at 3. Felix out running. All the way to the basket with the left. And a nice finish scoop shot. Ball into Bowen, floats it over the top for Peoples. Perkins there to steal. Boyd Perkins. And good job by Bowen, takes the charge. Take a look at that on replay as Perkins trying to find an angle through, and Bowen just holds his ground. 4th team foul on the Tigers here in the quarter. Number 30, Drayson Felix subbing out. Cools tries to get it in over the top to Dylan Bowen's able to get it there. Ahead to Peoples, but too high. And back to the Tigers. Number 21, Joshua Douglas inbounding for the Tigers. Floats it into Perkins. Bowen comes up to defend along with Morey. And foul called, I think that was called on Peoples. No, on Morey. Foul on Morey, second team foul of the quarter. Boyd Perkins at the line for 2 free throws. Off to the right on the first. Second one comes up short. Morey with the rebound, looking ahead, gets it to Lincoln Bowen. Back to Morey on the right side, takes the long 2, but gets called for the travel. Ball back to the Tigers, and the Tigers want a timeout. All right, after the timeout, Tigers inbounding. Bowen goes for the steal. And Dylan Bowen gets called for the foul as he reached in there to try to take the ball away. Got a little bit unlucky on that one. Third foul of the quarter on the Cougars. Ball deflected by Cools. Number 21, Douglas, able to get back to the ball. Kicks it to the corner for Irizarry. Another offense rebound by the Tigers. Number 21, Douglas, up to Carter. Porter to Perkins. Douglas drives in. And another offensive foul on the Tigers. Dylan Bowen gets it in to number 22, that's Cronowit. Lincoln Bowen picks up his dribble. Tough pass ahead to Dylan Bowen, knocked away by Douglas. Will stay Cougars ball. Good pass back to Cronowit. Goes for the scoop shot, but hits the bottom of the rim. And Porter pulls down the rebound for the Tigers. Carter all the way to the glass and puts it in. 7-3 the score, 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Lincoln Bowen with the razzle-dazzle, but loses the ball. Sloan Porter on the steal, gets it back to Perkins at the top. Perkins through the double, floats it in. A tough basket by Perkins. Lincoln Bowen flips it to Cools. Isaac Cools ahead. Foul called on the Tigers, Irizarry, and we're in the bonus. Two shots upcoming for Cools. Cools good on the first. Off the rim on the second, rebound by Porter. Quick outlet to Douglas all the way to the glass. Morey defending Perkins there for the offensive rebound, puts it back and the foul. And Perkins will go to the line for the and one. Look at the replay here as Douglas gets it to the basket. Offensive rebounds in transition are the way to score. And one is no good, knocked out of play. Ball back to the Cougars. Cronowit lost where he was and took the extra step, gets called for the travel. Shep Carter inbounding for the Tigers. Trying to find an option. Floats it in to Porter. Ball stolen away by the Cougars. Cools ahead and big block by number 10, Carter. I'm sorry, that may have been 21. I think that was 21, Douglas. Dylan Bowen gets it into Lincoln Bowen. Cronowit tries to slide it to Cools, but stolen away by Irizarry. Defended by Cools, and ooh, Irizarry's going to get teed up for that. So this is interesting. So we'll shoot the we have to go to the other end of the court. I actually just read this rule last night. I honestly didn't know it before then, but I actually read it thinking, when would this ever happen? When you commit a foul and then there's a technical called, but the order of operations is you shoot the 2 free throws unmanned, and then shoot the technical free throws, and then the Cougars have the ball. He misses the first. And the second one's no good, so now the 2 technical free throws for the Cougars, and then the Cougars will get the ball at the division line opposite the table. As it cools at the line for the technical free throws, and he makes the first. Can't get the roll on the second. 11-5, 107 left in the first quarter. Cougars will inbound. Four subs coming in the game for the Tigers. Number 3, number 31, number 4, number 20. Dylan Bowen inbounding. Cools back to Bowen. Back to Cools in the corner. Ball slapped away by Shepard, and will stay Cougars ball. Both teams in the bonus here in the last minute of the quarter. Cools, he got the ball back, but he wasn't inbounds. They let him have it, but then he stepped out of bounds again and decided to call that one. All right, under a minute to play here. Number 10, Carter, over to Shepard, back to Carter. Tries to split through, stolen away by Amore. Mankin's able to pick his pocket. Mankin too strong off the glass, gets his own rebound. Another offensive rebound by the Tigers. That's number 31, Haslip, and he puts it in. 13-5 now the score. Dylan Bowen trying to push in transition, stolen away by Mankin. Into the corner, Shepard wants the 3. Too strong, backside rebound by Dylan Bowen. Gets it into number 34, Carson Martin. Lincoln Bowen being tightly defended. Gets it into Martin, ball not enough on it as it's slapped away. 6 seconds remaining. That's Felix, the long 3. Ball deflected by Cools, and that does it for the first quarter. So both teams got through quite a few players in the first quarter. Felt like a long first quarter. 13-5. Cougars have the arrow coming out for the second quarter.
Risk reward right there. Everything is risk reward. But you gotta get back to that time.
6 minutes on the clock. Cougars inbounding. Peoples into Martin. Gets it into Cools. All the way across for Dylan Bowen for three. Comes up short. Haslip pulls down the rebound. Tough pass ahead over the head of Felix. And back to the Cougars. Dylan Bowen inbounding for the Cougars. Number 4, Mankin on the ball defending. Stolen away by Shepard. Shepard picks up his dribble. Gets it to Felix. Felix looks in, backdoor cut by Mankin, and he puts it in for two. 10-point lead now for the Tigers. Stolen away by Shepard. Up top for Felix for a long three. Off the backboard, another offensive rebound by the Tigers, and Shepard tries to float it in. Pulled down by Mankin on the air ball on the backside, and Mankin draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Truman Mankin at the line. Off to the right on the first. Martin pulls down the rebound on the second, out to Cools. Tightly defended by Shepard. Shepard goes to the ground, no call. Cools ahead to Martin. Martin with the quick shot off the glass and puts it in. Nice finish by Carson Martin. Felix quickly into the front court, over to Shepard on the left side. Shepard into the paint, kicks it back to number 20, that's Norberry. Into the corner for Mankin, dribbles in, kicks it back to Felix. Felix spin move in the paint. Ball over to Haslip, and too strong. Martin pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Out in transition, Bowen ahead to Peoples. Peoples picks up the dribble, tough pass to Bowen. He's able to handle it as Mankin defends. Back to Peoples, floats it in for Martin, and Martin receives it, fouled in the air by Norberry. Cougars will get it underneath. Number 12, Brady Baker checking in the game for Isaac Cools. 31 and 20 out for the Tigers. Didn't catch who subbed in. Lincoln Bowen also back in the game. Spin fadeaway jumper is short. Sloan Porter pulls down the rebound for the Tigers. Felix pushing all the way to the glass with the left, and he gets the roll. Back to a 10-point lead for the Tigers. Baker inbounding into Lincoln Bowen. Back to Baker. Flips it over the top for Bowen. Bowen tightly defended by Shepard. Picks up the dribble. Peoples got to relocate. He's able to get it to Peoples at the top. Over to Martin on the left side. Flips it to Peoples. One more to Dylan Bowen. Bowen thought about the step back three. Gets it back to Peoples. Brady Baker looking to go baseline. Being defended by Porter and steps on the end line. Ball back to the Tigers. Lincoln Bowen subbing out as Grayson Morey checks back in for the Cougars. Grayson Felix over to Mankin. Shepard back to Felix. Felix at the top key over to an open Shepard for three. Takes the runner instead, and Martin kind of slides into him in the air. Gets called for the foul. Shepard will go to the line for 2 free throws. Gets the roll on the first. No good on the second, but another offensive rebound by the Tigers. Boyd Perkins puts in the cleanup. Dylan Bowen. Nice crossover dribble to get ahead of Mankin. Pulls it up in the front court. Over to Baker at the top. Baker being defended by Porter. Wild pass stolen by Perkins. Baker hustles back to defend, and ball on the floor, knocked out of bounds, ruled Cougars ball. Good job by Brady Baker not giving up on that play. And the Tigers want a timeout. So Cougars ball after the timeout. Peoples inbounding. Ball into Bowen. Ahead to Baker. Slapped away from behind by Felix. Baker gets on the floor, able to save it. Back to Dylan Bowen. Over to Peoples at the top. Morey, long two. Air ball rebounded by Mankin. Truman Mankin out in transition, gets to Shepard. Shepard, acrobatic attempt. Another offensive rebound by the Tigers. That's Boyd Perkins, and he'll go back to the line for 2 free throws. Cougars really struggling to clear with a defense rebound. Part of that's the Tigers are running, so everyone's chasing, and there's no real boxing out. There's just free runs. Perkins short on the first. Mankin subs out as number 21 Douglas checks back in for the Tigers. Lincoln Bowen checked in for Grayson Morey. Number 10 Shep Carter also checking in as Urban Shepard checks out. Perkins used his legs on the second and makes the free throw. Bowen gets it into Dylan Bowen, ahead to Cronowit, and knocked out a play. Last touch by the Tigers will be Cougars ball underneath. 21-7, 2:15 left in the second quarter. Ball deflected by Carter. Up ahead to Douglas. Douglas trying to find possession into the corner, saved by Perkins. Carter to Felix. Kicks it over to Porter for 3. Long rebound to Felix. Felix resets to the top. Over to Porter. Back to Felix. Left-handed dribble, kick to Carter in the corner. Carter finds an angle, gets to the basket, comes up short, but gets his own rebound, blocked by Cronowit. Perkins gets a hand on it, but Dylan Bowen's able to grab it out of his hands and secure for the defense rebound. Bowen, tough pass over to Douglas, or to Peoples, knocked away by Douglas, but out of bounds. Will stay Cougars ball in the front court. Baker goes for the pass, stolen away by Douglas. Baker gets a hand on the ball. Ahead to Carter. Cronowit defending. Loose ball, Cronowit's able to pull down the rebound, looking for an outlet. Gets the dribble down. Douglas there to steal. And Douglas puts it in for 2 more points. Dylan Bowen stolen away by the Tigers. Carter. And Carter draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Chip Carter, number 10, at the line for 2. Off to the right on the first. 56 seconds left here in the first half. Tigers leading 23-7. Brady Baker checks out as Isaac Cools checks back in the game for the Cougars. Around the rim and out on the second. Kronowit gets the rebound. Picks up the dribble, looking for an option. Pass ahead. Ball deflected by Perkins. Dylan Bowen's there to receive it, and Dylan Bowen gets all the way to the basket, draws the foul. I'm not sure who they'll give that to. Called on Douglas. That's the second foul of the quarter on the Tigers. Dylan Bowen at the line for 2 free throws. Too strong on the first. And too strong on the second. Boyd Perkins pulls down the rebound for the Tigers, picks up his dribble, able to get it to Carter. Carter pushing ahead, kicks it to Douglas, back up top for Felix. Felix kicks it into the corner for Porter for 3. Comes up short, but another offensive rebound by the Tigers. Douglas out to Felix, resets for the 3, rims around and out, and Cools pulls down the rebound for the Cougars. Cools into the front court. Over to Peoples on the right wing. Miscommunication stolen away by Douglas. Douglas wants it himself and draws the foul as Cools came in to recover. Number 3, that's actually called on Peoples. Douglas too strong on the first, one more upcoming. Second one rolls in. 24-7, 4 seconds on the clock. Lincoln Bowen. Ball deflected, and that will do it for the first half. Tigers leading 24-7 over the Cougars in this modified junior high 7th grade B game. All right, we'll take a halftime break, and 8 minutes on the clock for halftime. We'll send you through the first half recap and then be back for the start of the second half. All right, we are back for the start of the third quarter. Cougars struggling to get anything going offensively. Tigers getting out in transition, causing some trouble for the Cougars. Tigers' athleticism, especially, giving them trouble. Tigers have the arrow coming out. All right, we're ready for the third quarter. Mankin inbounding for the Tigers. Ball into Felix. Shepard looking in, but 3 seconds in the lane called on the Tigers. Tigers in the full court press. Coons. Blocking foul called on Shepard. And a front court throw in for the Cougars. Morey into the corner for Lincoln Bowen. Thought about the three. He does take it. Rims around and out. And Mankin with the rebound quickly out for Shepard. Shepard puts it in for the easy basket. Bowen tries to get it in. Mankin steals. Morey steals it back. Felix looking for the wolf from behind. Morey gets it ahead to Peoples, but can't finish. Felix pulls down the rebound for the Tigers out in transition. Felix trying to get all the way to the basket. Lincoln Bowen able to cut him off. Felix resets to the top. Over to Shepard. To the top for number 20, Norbury. Drives in, loses the handle, and knocked out of bounds. Ball back to the Cougars, I believe. Tigers in the diamond press. Bowen into Dylan. Bowen deflected away by Mankin. Will stay Cougars ball. Bowen into Morey, can't handle the pass. Felix steals. Cougars get away with a foul on Shepard as he loses the ball going up. Shepard tightly defending on Cools, and he gets called for the foul. Second foul of the quarter on the Tigers. Drew Peoples inbounding. Into Bowen. Back to Peoples, all the way across for Lincoln Bowen. And Lincoln tries to float it in. Can't get it to fall. Number 31, Haslip, quickly out. And Shepard's able to finish at the glass. As it cools inbounding. Gets it into Bowen. Pass ahead to Morey. Felix steps in and deflects it. Saves it, but Morey's right there to regain possession. And the Cougars call a timeout. All right, after the timeout, Cougars inbounding underneath. 4:18 to play in the third quarter. Peoples looking for an option, gets it into Cools. Over to Bowen. Ball stolen away by Mankin. And Bowen, well defended, gets called for the foul, though, as he went across the body. And Mankin will go to the line for 2 free throws. Jim and Mankin off to the right on the first, can't get it to fall. Dylan Bowen checking out as Brady Baker checks in for the Cougars. Mankin short on the second, fight for the rebound. Morey's able to pull it down for the Cougars. Has Bowen up top if you can see him. Felix tightly defending, gets it up to Baker. Baker to the glass, big, big block attempt by Haslip, and he gets called for the foul. I'm not sure. Oh, Baker's down hurt. Seemed pretty excessive. Looks like he's going to be okay. Take a look on the replay as Haslip wound up like he was just finishing his pitching practice. Third foul on the Tigers here in the quarter. Baker has to sub out. So Carson Martin will shoot the free throws for the Cougars. Martin too strong on the first. A little deep on the second. Rebound pulled down by Shepard. In a transition, good pass ahead to Felix. Felix can't get it to fall, but offense rebound by Mankin. Tries to float it in. Felix comes in for the rebound, loses it out of bounds. And ball back to the Cougars. Going into Morey. Morey loses the handle. Able to find Carson up ahead. Ball deflected by Haslip. Cougars able to recover. Morey to the paint. And wild shot draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Four Tigers at the table to check in. Grayson Morey with 2 free throws upcoming. Off the back rim on the first. Number 2, number 10, number 21, and number 34 in the game for the Tigers. That's Porter, Carter, Douglas, and Perkins. Shepard stays in the game. Morey gets the roll on the second. And it's a 20-point game. Carter into Perkins. A lot of contact. Perkins able to battle through it and finish at the glass. As it cools, pass ahead to Morey. Shepard defending. Morey brings it up to the top. Back to Lincoln Bowen. Looks for Martin, but stolen away. Carter can't get it to fall, but another offensive rebound by the Tigers. Douglas to Shepard. Shepard gets the ball back, and foul called on Morey on the loose ball. Tigers will inbound underneath. Carter inbounding, trying to find Perkins. Martin there defending. Perkins, good shot attempt. able to track down his own miss. Pass to the top, Lincoln Bowen hustles for it. Carter is able to recover. Shep Carter taking it to the basket. Kicks it over to number 11, Harris. Back up top to Perkins. Carter to Porter. Perkins to Harris. Back to Porter at the top. Over to Douglas. Carter looks in on the cut. Back to Douglas at the top. Douglas drives in. Rebound pulled down by Peoples. Outlet. Porter's able to deflect it. Lincoln Bowen gets it back. Peoples tries to find Morey, but stolen away by Perkins. Porter out in transition. Kicks it to Douglas. Gets away with a step. Perkins into the paint and makes the basket through contact. Ball into Morey. Morey goes down and looks like he's hurt. Perkins into Porter. Loose ball, and the refs are going to stop it as Morey is on the ground hurt. Not putting any weight on that right leg. So Zach Crown will sub in as they check out Morey. Tigers inbounding. Carter gets it in. Douglas turnaround off the glass and good. Lincoln Bowen all the way in. And Douglas gets caught in the air. Fouls Bowen before he can go up for the shot. I believe they're going to call that on the floor. That is the 5th team foul, though, so Bowen is shooting too. Lincoln Bowen off to the right on the first. Good on the second. Carter over to Douglas, into the corner for Porter. Looks for the flash through, gets it into Carter underneath. And tough shot, gets his own rebound. Foul called on the Cougars. That's going to go against Kronowit. Yeah, Kronowit called for the foul. And ruled a shooting foul, it looks like. No, on the floor. Tigers will inbound underneath. Carter into Porter. Up top to Carter. Screen for the three. Front rim, rebound pulled down by Harris. And ball knocked out of play by the Cougars will stay Tigers ball underneath. 57 seconds left in the third quarter. Tigers leading 34-9. Into Porter. Over to Perkins. Kicks it out to Carter. Thought about the three. Drives into the paint. Acrobatic shot. Rims around and out. Perkins fights for the rebound. Porter's able to secure it for the Tigers. And Porter gets to the basket. Draws the foul on Martin. Porter will go to the line for two. Free throw shot off to the left on the first. Too strong on the second. Fight for the rebound by number 33. That is, I know who that is. 3-point shot by Douglas is good. Bowen gets it inside, back out to Cools. Martin into the corner, stolen away by Douglas. 6 seconds remaining. Douglas trying to get all the way to the rim. Off the backboard and out of bounds. And the horn went off. That will do it for the third quarter. All right, we're set for the fourth quarter. Cougars have the arrow. Ball into Lincoln Bowen, being defended by Sloan Porter. Over to Coons. Bowen to Cools. 3-point shot off the back of the rim. Cronowit fights for the rebound. Can't get the shot to fall. Perkins pulls down the rebound for the Tigers. And foul called on Cronowit. First foul of the quarter. Ball inside to Carter. And jump ball called. Tigers have the arrow. Carter into Douglas. Miscommunication. Carter's able to get it back. Trying to get in, gets it out to Sloan Porter for three, and hits the support at the top. Out of bounds, back to the Cougars. As it cools. Morris posting up in the short corner is able to get it into him. Back to Cools. Up top to Baker. Baker fights through the contact and is able to draw the foul on Carter. Cougars limbo on the sideline. Ball into Morris. Perkins there to defend. Loose ball. Baker gets on the floor. Jump ball called, and the Cougars have the arrow. That's inside the three-point line, so that should be underneath for the inbound. Ball stolen away by number 12, Bill Kolaw. He gets fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. Kola short on the first. Number 25, Kaysen Van Gilder, subbing in the game for the Tigers. Cools and Kronowitz sub out for the Cougars. Bowen and Martin back in. Dylan Bowen pulls down the rebound. Brady Baker, nice move, too strong though. Dylan Bowen there pulls down the rebound, looking to find an option, puts the dribble down. Kicks it back up top to Lincoln Bowen. Step back 3 off the back of the rim. Morris pulls down the rebound, kicks it out to Martin. Too strong. Rebound pulled down by Baker. He's got to go up with it. Too strong. Sloan Porter into transition for the Tigers. Gets to his right and puts it in. And it's 38-9. 4 minutes left here in the junior high B game. Ball into Morris on the low block. Morris turns and shoots. Van Gilder gets the rebound over to Douglas. Douglas floats it in to Sloan Porter, gets his own rebound back. Kicks it back out to Van Gilder, and he makes the jump shot. Kaysen Van Gilder makes the basket. Ball inside to Douglas. Douglas out running. Well defended by Bowen, but Douglas, tough finish. 42-9, 3:20 to play. And the Cougars want a timeout. In the game for the Cougars, number 20, that's Archie Burgett. Baker inbounding. Tries to get into Burgett, stolen away by Newby. And Newby puts it in. 3 minutes on the clock. I didn't get that clock stopped on the timeout, so I'm a little bit behind, or a little bit ahead of the clock. We'll hold it here until we get down to 2:29. Martin back up to Dylan Bowen. Ball stolen away by Mankin. Morris, nice hustle back to steal. Looks ahead, finds Martin on the opposite side. Bounce pass into Burgett. And knocked away by the Tigers, will stay Cougars ball. Burgett looking for an option inbound, stolen by Mankin. That's Newby to number 11, Harris. Baker goes for this, I'm sorry, that's number 12, Kola. Mankin over to Newby. A little more Van Gilder into the corner for Harris. Up top for Kola. Newby on the right wing. Finds Kola on the cut. Big block by Carson Martin. And we'll stay Tigers ball. Take a look at that on replay as Martin closes out on Kola and smashes it away and give some damage to Kola on the process. Martin went and chased the ball. Running clock now with the lead by the Tigers, 1:20 to play. Ball into Newby. Burgett tightly defending. Up top for number 5, Irizarry. Van Gilder tries for the save, but is out of bounds, and ball back to the Cougars. Ball up top to Baker. Cross from Martin. And too high, out of bounds. That's just a little bit of positioning error. Obviously, Baker's got to make the pass to space. Martin's got to know to chase high to be available for that pass. Crossover dribble by Kola all the way into the paint. Loses the handle. Morris there to steal. Able to slow it down as Martin gets the ball across the timeline. Over to Morris in the corner, 20 seconds left. Harris knows there's no fouls left, so he's just hacking away. And offensive foul called on Morris. I mean, Harris committed about 8 fouls there before Morris committed the offensive foul. But all right, that'll do it for the game. 44-9 final. We'll go ahead and send you through that second half recap. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. The junior high boys, that's a tough test for them. They obviously our size school, we have a junior high A team and B team. Carthage, being a bigger school, has an 8th grade A and B team and a 7th grade A and B team. So the 8th grade A team was playing against our A team, which our A team has a lot of 7th graders on it. So it's a tough test, but obviously Carthage is a good team, and they able to pull away from us in both games. Hopefully the boys can learn something from that. It's always good to be tested. I know this is a good junior high team. The New Heights boys team is a good team, so it's nice to get a test like that where you're forced to really learn from some of your mistakes. All right, we'll send you through the second half recap as we close out. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back here on YouTube tomorrow night for the varsity boys game at Macaulay. They take on Lighthouse Christian. And then Wednesday we have a junior JV game at Jasper for the Jasper JV tournament. So we'll be busy this week.